Don't see many of them in the Kruger. Very dark Impala. God knows what it is. Reminds me of Rafferty. Nice pride of lines with nice accommodation. Beats the tents in the Kruger. As I say, this park shuts tomorrow for the winter. No tail monkey. God knows what type of antelope that is. Worth a visit in the summer. I'm pretty sure it'll be jam-packed. Just waiting on the raptors display. And there's the wind farm way in the distance. I'm round about the Stirling area. Wallace country, as they say.
Showing this horrible weather. So welcome to Blair Drumond. My name's Mark, and along with the help of my lovely volunteer Lucy and our extra team member Ian hiding over in the corner there, we're going to do a little bit of flying for you. Now before we begin, just a few basic safety notes. So first of all, please stay seated throughout the show. We don't want to get up or running around because we are going to flying birds over the tops of you. We don't want you standing up, the bird hitting you, and you getting hurt, or the bird getting hurt. Please don't try and touch them. They've got sharp beaks and sharp talons, and that will equal loss of fingers. And the very last one, if you do have to leave at any point for any unforeseen circumstances, my volunteer will let you out. Once you're out, you're not getting back in. Right, so on that note, we are ready to begin, because she's not very keen on loud noises. Are you actually in here? Hello? Are you coming out? I got you. Yeah? No, don't go back in. Okay, we do this way. Ready? Cool. Don't go all, because that, if the devil had a face, that's what it would look like. Alright? This is Ant, and Ant is our North American burrowing owl. Now, she's not actually been out long in shows. She had a wee bit of time off because she decided during the high season, when we were doing all the flying displays, to drop out all the feathers and could not fly. The North American burrowing owl itself, as the name suggests, are found across America, and they are very, very comfortable down here on the ground. They've got these lovely long wee legs, which are perfect for running and also perfect for digging out their own wee burrows. And basically, what these guys are doing, you keep going, oh random, did anybody lose a cigarette in the middle of the arena? And you should not be smoking, that's terrible. Pop that in my pocket. They're a big gopher basically, or like a big guinea pig, and they live quite happily side by side, sort of sharing the burrow together, and they will basically protect each other as well. The cool bit is they actually both have the exact same alarm call, so it doesn't matter who spots the predator, they basically have this wee high pitched scream. Everybody runs back to the burrow where it's nice and safe, and then it's actually up to the burrowing owl to defend that next. You're going to come and do some flying now? Oh no. Ant, wake up. You can do it. Don't look away. Don't look at other people. Look at me. Come on, this is months of training now. Fly! So they can fly. They honestly can. I think Ant's just no liking this cold weather either. You! Wake up, please. This is not a good start. If one bird messes around in the show, the rest of the show's going to be absolute rubbish. Right, come on. Little flights. Just staring at me. And then epically turning her head away from me. Okay, well, we're just going to talk about you and we'll let you freeze there. Come on, you can do it. Look. Oh, wow. That was just not worth it. I'm going to go back now. Lovely. So, guys, are your nighttime or your nocturnal hunters? Ant, come on, you can do it. Come on. Thank you. They also people think that owls can turn their heads all the way around. Again, this is not true. Owls have the ability to go about 270 degrees in both directions, so it doesn't really considered to be one of the smartest birds of prey which are commonly kept in captivity. Now the reason behind this is, your average bird of prey, they live in large family groups, or what we call a troop, and this can consist of anywhere from 4 up to about 40 of them, and they look for their dinner. Now the prey for a harrisock again will be anything from insects, lizards, snakes, but all of their strength really comes from the fact that they work in groups. And because of this sort of pack mentality, the harrisock things about the harrisock is their communication form. Now when they're out, hawks hisses and shouts and wee squeaks, but when they're out hunting they want to be nice and quiet so they don't alert prey or predators that they're in the area. And what she'll do from time to time is she gives her tail a very subtle shake, and that's her top. They can actually see that signal from quite a distance away. They can coordinate themselves very quickly, very quietly, very efficiently, without alerting anything they're in the area, and then they get a group. This is what it's a group of 10. There's usually one large female who runs the group. Now she's much bigger than the males are. The females are about 20 up nice and high into the sky, and she'll soar around waiting for the males to find that prey item. Once they've spotted down, and then the female will come in from height as quickly as possible, using that fantastic power to basically dispatch that prey larger and larger prey items. So it's a very, very tight-knit little family these guys have got. But it does get a little bit weird at points, as each one of the eggs in that nest can be to a different dad. So it's very Jeremy Kyle when you think about it. But it's a very handy thing to have as well, because if you've got 5 eggs and 5 to die out on the hunt, the clutch is still going to survive, and they will go on and thrive from there. And they are just all round an amazing little species. The other ground hunters, that is pretty much it. Harrisocks though will catch aerial prey, they will catch ground prey, they're not really fussed at all. So hopefully what we can do is we'll get up onto a nice high post, basically catch it what we call on the rise. So as it takes off from the ground, they will basically just shoot up after it, grab it in their powerful wee feet, and they've got phenomenal agility. So we can actually demonstrate that for you one more wee time if I can find a bit. We just use this. There we go. Right, so hopefully, do it one more time. Ready, darling? One more. Up for it. Very well. Oh, come and get him. There we go. Alright. So as I was saying, this is Benedict, and he is our lovely male European eagle owl. Now the eagle owl itself is actually the second largest species of owl you'll find on this planet. The only owl that's actually bigger than them is called the Blakiston's fish owl, which you'll find through Japan. And they stand about 1.5 inches tall, but for all intents and purposes, this is probably the largest owl that anybody will ever actually see. Now this little guy here weighs in at about 1.8 kilos, or just under 4 pounds. Now, he has the capability of pulling down a 30 to 40 pound deer. The reason behind this is, if you have a look at his feet when he's flying past you, or when he's sitting on one of the gloves, you will see he has got a massive set of feet on him. Not only are they massive, but each one of the feet have 4 toes with 4 extremely sharp talons as well. And that's not the only thing, it's the gripping strength. Now each one of his feet has the equivalent gripping strength as a Rottweiler has in its bite. So that is between 5 to 750 pounds of pressure. To put that into a bit of perspective, human bone crushes at just over 100 pounds of pressure, and at his weakest he has about 5 times that amount. So say a big, massive, powerful owl. And they love a hedgehog, love to eat a hedgehog. So the masters are basically removing the spines from a hedgehog and eating everything that's nice and leaving all the horrible things behind. So I see quite an intelligent of his head. Now most people think that's his ears there, they're actually not his ears. They are just called ear tufts. They're actually nowhere near where his ears are. And they're actually what we call mood indicators. So by the position of them we can sort of tell what sort of mood he's in. So when they're up straight to the sky, that means he's quite happy. When they're flat at the top of his head, get away from him. But see, the other cool thing about owls is their hearing. Most birds of prey will hunt through eyesight. Owls do completely different. They hunt through hearing. So they've got 2 ears just like you and I, and they are in slightly different positions on their head. So it's what we call asymmetrical hearing. So his right ear is above his right eye, and it faces down. His left ear is below the left eye, and it faces up. Each ear is tuned into a slightly different frequency, Guys, a mouse or vole running along the ground from about 40 to 50 foot away. But if it's within 10 foot of him, he can actually hear it by its heartbeat. So I see an absolutely amazing set of ears, and what actually helps that is that nice flat facial disc, which helps to basically force sound towards his ears, making everything that little bit louder. And I say, they're actually not too bad at all. As I say, he is still a baby, not even a year old yet. We got him when he was about 3 weeks old, and he was about the same size as a big Easter egg, and then all of a sudden he just exploded and grew up really quickly. But he is coming on really nicely, so we'll call this the last one up, and then I think we're going to let him disappear off. Come on, man, you can do it. That's it. And then you notice when he's flying, if you look at his wings as well, he's got these massive, long, really broad wings as well. Most owls are what we call static or still hunters, but European eaglers are basically, they hunt from the soul. They do just basically hunt and fly like an eagle does. So I say that just makes them truly unique in the owl world. But I think on that note, guys, that does bring us to the end of our first show for today. We do hope you've enjoyed yourself. Thank you very much for coming, and have a lovely day at the park, everyone. Thanks again.
What are you doing? This is all very on the new jeans. Get it first.
Over there too.
Sorry. That's number one. No, number one.
He's on the island up there, you probably see one. The climbing frame as well to be coming into view, so they're not down in the grass, they're usually up on it. So keep them up here as chimpanzees can't swim, they've got a very dense muscle mass, so they're not very buoyant, and obviously got an atrophy because of this going into the water. Dogs as small as they might look in the distance, a chimpanzee can be as tall as 5.5 foot when standing upright and weigh anything up to 10 stones, in some cases a bit more. We'll spend a bit of the day foraging for fruit and veg, which is scattered on by the keepers, which is what this one's doing here closest to us. This is a female here called Copper, and Copper, she's been here about 5 years, and she was 28 this year. This is just here closest to us on the grass. You can tell she's a female from the pink skin on her bottom. Males tend to be a bit bigger, and apart from all these things, tend to have a large grey whitish mane on their back. Another female that's sat, this is the bottom right of the climbing frame there, this is the edge of the bushes, just sort of behind Copper. That's our eldest, that's Jill, and she was 47, and like Copper, she's also been here 5 years. However, Jill was actually born out in the wild, so she's had an interesting journey to say the least. That's how they sat in the grass at the bottom right of the climbing frame. And both these two chimps here are partners of our male chimp, Chippy, who I think is actually the right of Jill there, just slightly in. That's Copper just gone over to him there. They will spend a bit of time grooming one another, keeping their coats nice and clean. Just what they seem to be doing at the moment. It's pretty much how they're going to wash. So it's a sociable activity for any chimpanzee. So the diet is made up of fruit and veg, but when they're on the island they mostly eat the vegetation, and at times might see the odd duck or pheasant too, but meat's not really a big part. The chimpanzee has the strength of between 3 and 5 fully grown men, so the keepers here certainly don't have any direct contact with them, as they are very dangerous, even though they look quite relaxed at the moment. Estimates vary, thought to be no more than about 150,000 chimpanzees left out in Central and Western Africa. That's the top end figures, so there's probably likely to be a lot less. And a lot of this is down to deforestation. So it's a sign of a female chimp, though it is a bit more exaggerated on the rosy than the others, if you've seen it there.
No.